The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
When life shapes us, when love anchors us, when loss changes us, we are not left behind. We are carried forward, held by faith, rooted in purpose, finding our way. This is Carried Forward, a space for stories of resilience, purpose, and forward resolve. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Carried Forward. It's just me today. I have some things I want to talk about just in regards to the ups and downs of life and what one passion of mine that's helped me get through that. As you know, I'm Shauna Nissen, and this is a space I'm trying to create where you can talk honestly about grief, about faith, about resilience, about trying to find your purpose and ways to keep moving forward in a life that doesn't always turn out like we had hoped it would. Today, like I mentioned, I am talking about a passion of mine that has helped me get through some tough times, helped me get my head back on straight, and that's writing. I always enjoyed it as a child, even won some awards, and then ended up getting my master's degree in creative writing. But more than that, not being professional writing, anything like that, just taking the time to put my thoughts on paper and like have a third party perspective to my own thoughts. That's what writing has done for me over the years. So yeah, I'm not talking about perfect writing. I'm not talking about, polished writing. I'm just, talking about what we put on paper for ourselves to help us get through a day, at least me. I want to talk about this because I have been dealing with some ups and downs of life, and when I put pen to paper or even, type out something in my digital journal, it just helps me breathe. It helps me get out of my own head. I don't know if anyone else out there is like that, but I am in my head 24/7, all the time. And that can be a challenge. Especially for someone like me that spends a lot of time on my own now. Now that Andy has passed and my daughter has moved out and branching out into her own adult life, which I'm so happy for. So I have, I work from home typically. I do get out and I interact with groups and people and get involved. But yeah, I have a lot of time on my own. So therefore, I have a lot of time in my head. And I was in my head even when I wasn't living just on my own. So being able to write my thoughts out and take a look at them. I heard this podcast one time. Dr. Caroline Leaf, she had a specialist on there, and he talked about like when we're able to get out of our heads and look at our own thoughts, like from you're on top of a mountain, that it allows us space to breathe and space to be able to work through whatever we're dealing with. So that's what I feel like writing does for me. It helps me process things, get things down, helps me look at it and go, what is that true? You know, or even it helps me go, Lord, you know, can you help me with this? What do you have for me? And time and time again, it's just helped me find myself. So I just want to talk about that today. And I take time in the morning, every morning, to do some writing. I have my notebook right here. And I have it because I love structure. I have it all tabbed out. But I put in here my daily goals, the things that I must do, should do, could do. I have a weekly reset, and then I have some reflection questions that I just recently started doing, and I'll share some of those. And I even have, like here, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I have, what are my big threes for today? What is the next right step? What can wait till later? And trust Jesus today, because I often need a reminder. But this is something that helps me. This is kind of like my daily recheck. But it's not really a journal. So I'm not even talking about just journaling. I'm just talking about like keeping track of like all the scattered things in your brain. But journaling is also, it's been proven to be helpful. And I think it is because you get to look at your own thoughts from a third party perspective. And I don't know if I explained that well enough, but like, meaning like you get to look at your own thoughts, what you've been maybe circling around in your head, and when you write it on paper and get it out, or even on computer screen, and then you read it back to yourself, you're giving yourself that ability to have a third party perspective on your own thoughts, and that's huge for me. I don't know how many is I'm sure it's huge for others. I've heard good things from other individuals, friends, and family. And like I said, it doesn't always have to be like creative writing and journaling. It can just be something like this that helps you with your daily like task and keeping you focused, and reminding you like what God has for you. Like, I put in there, trust Jesus today, because like that's all he asks us to do is trust him today. And I need a reminder like that. And then like Sunday reflections, those are just questions saying, okay, what did you feel good about this week? Where did you see God show up? Just simple things like that to help me remember, like, because we move at such a fast pace, right? And I feel like more and more, I don't know about you, but like lately I'm just feeling like life is just blurring by. We're already in, the middle of the year of 2026, and I'm like, where did 2025 go? So that's also what writing does for me. I get to go back and look at like what I was doing, how I was feeling. My journal does that for me. I have a digital journal that I've kept for the longest time, even during the times that I was taking care of Andy. So back in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And I look back at those and I see where my head was, where my headspace was. And it also helps me see how far I've come, and just how far, like, I'm not thinking maybe in that way anymore, or feeling so overwhelmed. It helps me feel grateful. And there's so many studies out there about gratitude and being good for your mental health. So this writing has just been so helpful for me. I would love to hear how writing has helped anyone else. Sometimes I've even written out prayers in borrowed, I have this app called Borrowed Prayers. Sometimes I will write those out. It just helps me breathe and think clearer. Because, just sometimes everything is just so going so fast in your brain. You got to move on to the next task of the day. So starting my day with writing and ending my day with writing helps me to be present in the moment. And then reviewing my journal entries helps me remember how far I've come. And maybe it even shows me like, oh my gosh, what were you even thinking, Shauna? Like, why did you even do that? So I highly recommend writing. And some people, because I have some friends that are like, I'm not a writer. Like, I don't write. It's not about being perfect. Actually, it's about not being perfect. It's about, putting pen to paper or typing something up. It's just about getting things out and helping you process a little bit better. And I'm speaking about this because this season of my life right now has just been overwhelming. And sometimes I forget how helpful writing is to me. And then, and so, cause you get so caught up in everything you're doing. And, recently, I always know the rhythm's there and I've gotten back into it. I never go too long without writing, but, it just recently reminded me just how good writing is for my soul. And I wanted to share that with everyone and to say it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be fun. Like I get fun notebooks that, make me like, oh, I'm going to my new notebook and my new pen, I'm going to write in it. But maybe your go-to is being on the computer and getting maybe a fun app. There's tons of journal apps out there. Or you could create your own or just have it in Google Docs. There's no rhyme or reason, and you can personalize it to yourself. And you don't have to sit down and write for a long time. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that say, I'm not a writer. Well, you don't have to be. Just, you can even sketch things. Maybe you're a sketcher or I've even done bubble blocks, like kind of mind mapping of sorts. I've even done that, and that helps. Like you get one topic, like this is what's going on with me, and then you branch off from that topic, and you're like, this is what I need to do with it. Like my podcast, like podcast topic, writing, and then like I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, or whatever it may be. Like maybe it's laundry. I need to I need to figure out how to work laundry better, write that out. That's the fun part of writing. It doesn't have to follow a formula. And what I've learned about writing is that you don't have to wait until life is calm. Actually, you probably shouldn't. You should probably take the time to write when there is chaos going on, because it will probably help you calm the chaos. Writing has helped me through grief. It's helped me through relationships. It's helping me find my identity, motherhood, faith, and loss. And I often write down like questions of who am I becoming? Who do I want to become? And, because life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes those ups and downs come close together, and you just need to have some room to breathe in that. And writing has enabled me to do that. You can feel hopeful one day and heavy the next. You can feel like you're making progress and still feel unsure. You can love God and still can be confused, and you can be healing and still have moments that hurt. And And writing allows you a place to be honest about all that without performing for anyone. It's just yours. It lets you say, you know, I'm grateful, but I'm tired. I'm healing, but I miss what was. I'm hopeful, but I'm scared. I'm moving forward, but I still need God to carry me. And you can write all that out, and be able to give yourself permission to feel those feelings and think about yourself feeling those feelings. And for me, that's what writing does. It doesn't fix anything. Writing doesn't fix anything. It just helps us notice what's happening inside of us. And then sometimes it helps us notice that we're beginning to heal. Like when I get to read my journal entries from when Andy was ill to like the beginning of the years when he passed away till now, it's a good review, because sometimes I feel like, Shauna, what, like, have you done anything to heal? Like, are we starting all over again? But I get to look back and go, no, wow, you have grown and you have changed. And what I've been thinking about lately is this whole idea of restorative writing, because it is like to put pen to paper and be able to be that third party of your thoughts. It provides some restorative healing. And it's not about grammar or perfection or producing something impressive. It's just about getting your thoughts and emotions out of you on paper, and you're able to like think about them more clearly. And you're able to slow down and just like listen to your own life. So restorative writing, I feel like, is just a writing as a reflection, writing maybe as a prayer, writing as release, writing to remember, writing as a way to connect with God, with yourself, and what really matters to you. And sometimes we carry so much in our bodies and in our brain and our heart and our minds racing all over the place, and we're trying to do all the things. Life is so much faster, I feel like, than it used to be, that we don't realize how much is weighing us down or holding us, that we're holding. In this restorative writing that I like to do is just a way of asking yourself, what am I carrying? What do I need to release? What truth do I need to remember? Like I am healing. Where have I seen God's faithfulness? And then what's the next right step? And if you haven't heard the podcast, The Next Right Thing, you should. Emily P. Freeman, just a shout out to her. She is awesome. You should check out her podcast. But I've really been thinking about this restorative writing and how it's helped me every time. And I would love to help others with that. And it's just become such a meaningful part of my life, to sit down and be able to like write and breathe with that and get my thoughts kind of away from me so I can have some perspective, right? And because this has been so meaningful in my life, I am hosting a restorative writing workshop here in New Braunfels, Wednesday, June 24th at 4 p.m. The workshop is for anyone at all who wants a quiet and meaningful space to slow down and reflect. Like, just take a moment and like write and reconnect. It's not a writing course at all. I'm not teaching you how to write. I'm teaching you how to slow down, breathe, and reflect on what's been going on in here, right? You do not have to have the right words. You don't have to share anything that you don't want to share. You will not have to be in you don't have to be in a perfect place emotionally and spiritually. You can be going through stuff. That is the point. I want I want to show how writing can be helpful. It's just a time that I'm going to take to pause and then share some ways that I use writing to help me and how it has helped me kind of release things that I've been holding and get back on track. We'll do gentle reflections, writing prompts, and conversations for those of us that want to share. And then we'll have a time to breathe. I'll also be doing a little bit of vagus nerve reset techniques that I've learned over time, and sharing that with the group too, because that also helps like a few of these kind of things. Releasing, because sometimes when you're writing you can bring up some things. So if you've been walking through grief, transition, uncertainty, or just a season where you need to hear yourself think, I would love for you to join me in New Braunfels here. If you're local, it is June 24th at 4 p.m. I'll send out more information in social media and put it out there, but just want to mention it here because as I've spoken, writing has just been so meaningful to me. Before we close, I want to offer a simple writing prompt for you today. Take 8 to 10 minutes to write this sentence. Well, not to write the sentence, but to write after what to write your feelings, your thoughts about this prompt. Right now, I am carrying. And just take 8 to 10 minutes and just write it. Don't stop, just write. Don't edit it, don't judge it. And don't try to make it sound good. Just write. Let it all out. Then after you finish, write the second sentence. God, what I need today is. And again, take 8 to 10 minutes. If you have that, maybe 5. And just write. Write what you're feeling. Write what's on your mind. Release it all. And you might be surprised what comes up. Sometimes writing helps us get underneath the noise and into the truth, because we're stopping and we're putting, and I do recommend putting pen to paper for this, because you're stopping and you're tangibly writing. So I hope those prompts help you. It was, right now I am carrying. And then the second one was, God, what I need today is. I hope those prompts are useful to you. Get on here and tell me in the notes what you came up with, if you want to share, if it helps you, if you like this idea, and if you want more information about the writing workshop. Thank you for spending time with me today. My prayer is that you remember this. Your story does not have to be fully understood. You do not have to be fully healed. Lord knows I'm not. And you do not have to be fully polished to matter and to move forward, to be carried forward, and to do something that matters. You don't have to have it all together. Most people don't. They're just trying to help others and get to the next day and hopefully help others along the way, right? That's all we're trying to do. But you're allowed to process slowly. I know I do. You're allowed to grow honestly. You're allowed to write your way through the middle. Life has its ups and downs, but we're not left behind. We're carried forward. If you're local to New Braunfels, I'd love to see you at the Restorative Writing Workshop on Wednesday, June 24th at 4 p.m. I'll share more details, like I said, on how to register and where to join, and I'll put that in my social medias prompts. So keep an eye out. And maybe I'll work on doing a a virtual one for those of you who are listening out there that aren't in New Braunfels. I would love to do that. Writing has made such a huge difference in my mental health. And I know so many people get nervous, like, I'm not a writer, I don't want to do that. Well, you don't have to be a writer. It's just an amazing process. Until next time, keep noticing, keep healing, and keep being carried forward. And help others be carried forward too. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. And I want to thank Military Broadcast Radio, and specifically Joel and Amber. They are so awesome and so helpful. Go out there and check out my other brothers and sisters on the Military Broadcast Radio Network and what they have to offer. There's some interesting podcasts out there. I've had the pleasure of listening to a few of them when I have a chance. You leave them playing in the car, and they're amazing. There's some really unique stories, some great stories of overcoming challenges in health and dealing with the struggles of what that faces. Get out there and take a look at my brothers and sisters out there on the network. And please keep supporting the Military Broadcast Radio Network, because it's important. It gives us platforms to share things like this. And like I said, helping others be carried forward. And that's what they're doing with their, with the nonprofit, helping us veterans be carried forward each day to be able to express ourselves. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching and listening to Military Broadcast Radio on Roku TV. If you missed today's episode, the podcast will be available on
and all major platforms shortly after we go off the air. We're here for you, not for us, giving veterans a voice. This is Military Broadcast Radio.